Guys, it's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Crypto Convo, series I make whenever I feel it's necessary, where we cover some exciting news and price action in the land of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, as well as some crypto-related stocks. As always, we'll go over each topic that we're going to be discussing, and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, of course, TradingView, where we will be looking at a few charts today. Not too much news to cover today. Definitely going to keep this episode more technicals focused, but we definitely have some exciting price action to cover. Bitcoin recovering super nicely after a few days of carnage. Look at all those 4-hour green candles right there. You'll love to see it floating around 10.7 right now, so it's definitely up on the day. We will take a look at coinmarketcap, just get a general overview of the market, what's going on right now. ChainLink up 30% on the day. ChainLink has been absolutely demolished over the past few weeks, so it's nice. I mean, what goes down must come up. You guys know the deal there. We'll just take a look at the general equity markets. The one piece of news we will cover is pretty breaking. So 2 hours ago at the time of recording this, I'm recording this afternoon Hawaii time on September 24th. 3 reasons why traders turned bullish after Bitcoin price surged to 10.7K. So even this news article is focusing more on the technical side of things, but that said, I'm excited to look at some charts with you guys. So as always, before we do get into it though, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do want to gain value from it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter if you want to know my exact positions in literally every cryptocurrency I hold, every trade I hold regarding some of the crypto stocks we're going to be talking about, and every other position in my entire portfolio. Along with that, I do send out a newsletter every trading day during market hours talking about the trades I made that day, rationalizing my thoughts, and giving you guys an email newsletter, which I personally think is the most valuable part, every trading day during market hours. Once again, just giving you guys my thoughts on Bitcoin, the equity markets, gold, silver, literally everything. All right, so first link in the description if you're interested in that. If not, no worries. Let's get into some of this exciting price action. All right, so as you can see here, Bitcoin, again, all those 4-hour candles, look at that, just straight line. That's beautiful, and it's super reassuring to me. It's reassuring may not be the right word, but it's just it's very bullish in my eyes that we're seeing Bitcoin recover significantly better than the equity markets. And you guys know I've been saying this for a long time, and I actually have pivoted to becoming, after this recent correction in equities, I've become a little more bullish on equities over the short to medium term, because we did see a pretty significant pullback in the markets. So correlation to the equity markets doesn't worry me as much, but it's exceeding that of the equity markets. So the price action is exceeding that of the equity markets. We see a crazy bounce here, again, up on the day. Sorry guys, this recycles like right before our recording, so that's not accurate right there, but 24-hour change up almost 5% on Bitcoin, sorry about that, up almost 10% on Ether, and then we saw ChainLink down below up like 30%. So crypto market recovering crazy. We see some volume there, we see attention there, and you guys, especially in this market, attention is one of the most important things. The more attention you have on your sector, I mean, the more bullish you are. And I am getting increasingly more bullish on, personally, assets like Bitcoin, gold, silver, more safe haven, more store of value assets as opposed to equities. And I am confident personally that we will see things trend more that way as the equities do slow down. Again, I'm not bearish. I'm not very bearish on equities anymore, but I'm significantly more bullish on assets like Bitcoin, gold, and silver right now. So that's super exciting to me. Of course, I'm bullish. If I'm bullish on Bitcoin, when I say I'm bullish on Bitcoin, you guys know that I'm bullish on pretty much the crypto sector as a whole. When the king moves, when the king moves, the kingdom follows. You guys know the deal there. So I'm excited to talk to you guys about Bitcoin. We'll touch on ETH, Link, and then we'll also touch on Overstock, Riot, and Mara as well. So I'm super excited to talk to you guys about those. But before we do get into that, let's cover this guy right here. So Joseph Young of Cointelegraph. This dude makes great works. I reference this guy's work a lot, so check him out. Joseph Young, shout out to you. 3 reasons why traders turned bullish after Bitcoin price surged to 10.7K. Today, the price of Bitcoin abruptly rose by 6% from 10,136 to as high as 10,743. And of course, that's changing as we speak. After this powerful 24-hour rally, analysts are now turning cautiously bullish for various reasons, but will Bitcoin price be able to tackle the 11K mark anytime soon? Currently, the factors that appear to be lifting investor sentiment are negative funding rates, BTC whale activity, and the US dollar's recent weakness. So speaking of whales, you guys, I am releasing a video tomorrow morning talking about what whales, what institutions, what big money does during election time. So stay tuned for that. I just recorded that, actually, to be completely honest with you guys, and I thought it was pretty solid. So stay tuned for that. I'll post that tomorrow morning. At the moment, Bitcoin's funding rate across various futures exchanges is either neutral or negative, despite the price hovering above $10,000. I just want to let you guys know I did highlight this. I don't know why it's all unhighlighted, but I'll still read it along with you guys. Sorry about that. Bitcoin future exchanges utilize funding to ensure there's balance in the market, and it disincentivizes the majority of the market to prevent the market from swaying to one side for a prolonged period. If long contracts or traders betting on a Bitcoin price increase represent the overwhelming majority, they'll need to pay short contract holders. The opposite applies if short contract holders dominate the market. So pretty much they got squeezed out. You guys know the deal there. We've talked about that multiple times in the past. When the funding rate turns negative, it means the majority of the market is shorting BTC. Typically, when funding rates remain below zero, it causes a short squeeze, there we go, and a surge in Bitcoin price. It can also be an indication that the short bet is overcrowded, raising the likelihood of an upsurge. A popular pseudonymous trader known as Don Alt tweeted that it is weird to see sentiment bearish when with negative funding rates. He said, and I quote, "It's very, very weird sentiment be It's very, very weird seeing sentiment be this bearish with neutral or negative funding above 10K. Don't think I can remember a time where that has happened before." The trader also noted that he sees an absorption of selling pressure at around 10,000. He added, and I quote, "Now I'm seeing absorption at 10K. It looks like the only people selling are people on derivatives, and I've closed my shorts to see how the next week is going to play out." The overcrowded Bitcoin market with short contracts coincides with some top whales possibly moving their holdings off exchange. That's extremely, so you want to see Bitcoin moved off exchanges. That means that these whales, especially large sums, because that means that these whales are not planning on selling anytime soon, and they hold it. And obviously, if it's in cold storage, if it's off exchanges, then that it makes it that much more rare than it already is. Optimistic whale activity. According to WhaleMap, a group of on-chain analysts who track crypto whale activity, top buyers moved their BTC on September 23rd. Very good sign once again. The analyst said top buyers move their funds have typically been a bullish catalyst for BTC. They explained, and I quote, "Top buyers were moving their coins yesterday. From my personal experience looking at this metric, next day after top buyers move, we go up." Good sign. The dollar weekend, so this is obviously a big catalyst, not only for Bitcoin, but for gold, silver, equities, everything except the dollar. I've talked about that a lot. A weak dollar means strong equities and vice versa. As the number of COVID-19 cases surges in the U.S., lawmakers are locked in a stalemate over the future of a much-needed stimulus package, and this is leading strategists to speculate on a weakening U.S. dollar. Before the initial rally, Michael van Widdempop, a full-time trader at Amsterdam Stock Exchange, said 10.7 to 10.8 is likely for Bitcoin. The trader emphasized that if the dollar slows down, the 11.2 to 11.4 range could be a reasonable target, he wrote. And I quote, "Nice, we're holding here, looks steady to test the 10.7, 10.8 areas, and maybe even 11.2, 11.4 if the dollar slows down for a bit." So, you guys know we can actually check out the dollar real quick. So let's go up to DXY here. Remember, DXY is the US dollar in a basket, paired against a basket of other national fiat currencies. The dollar has been doing pretty damn well lately. You guys remember, as soon as it broke above these trend lines at the beginning of September, I started saying we might see a rally in the dollar. We've definitely seen it, on top of kind of worry about a stimulus. I've talked about this a lot. I do think that we will see another round of stimulus, and I'm confident that we'll see that. And I don't know why. I feel like it's a lot more likely that we'll see a stimulus now than it was like a week ago. So it's weird that the dollar is rallying now, because it seems kind of delayed in my eyes. But regardless, the dollar did pop a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if this is that bounce the dollar was looking for, because we are ultimately still in a significant downtrend on the dollar. So we will see this. If we get another round of stimulus announced, 100% the dollar will tank, and assets like gold, silver, Bitcoin, equities, you know the deal, will inevitably go up just because they keep printing money. The more money you print, the more deflated the dollar becomes, the more devalued it gets, and the more valuable assets that aren't just being printed get, like Bitcoin, like example A, like I've said it many times, Bitcoin, the #1 pick in this entire market, in my opinion. If I could invest in a single asset, like not even options or anything right now, it would just be Bitcoin. Okay, so I think that's the safest play. I think it's the obvious play in this current, with everything going on in the world right now, considering the macroeconomic backdrop. I've said this many times, I'll say it again, I'm almost irresponsibly bullish on Bitcoin. Said that about Riot a lot too. Riot's a close second, to be honest, and we will look at that. So I'm excited to look at Riot with you guys. But let's go back to Bitcoin again. A weak dollar equals a strong Bitcoin equals strong equities as well. So Bitcoin, man, look, I can't stop looking at that 4 hour. Look at that right there. Let's hope by the time I post this, which is going to be in a few hours, and you guys see it, that this just keeps going up. We just keep these green bars rolling. But yeah, that's, I mean, on a short-term time frame, I still do think that we will ultimately come. We do have to break. So actually, you know what, let's get out of the 4 hours. Let's get to the real stuff. So daily we are technically still in a downtrend beginning at mid-August. So after the peak in mid-August around 12.4, we did start a downtrend. 12.4, you got this peak right here at 11.9, almost 12K. And I think that has created a line of resistance in the downtrend. Okay, so we will need to break above over the coming days. Call it 11, just 11.2 to be safe. If we close it daily above 11.2, we have officially broken out of that downtrend. I think it's very likely that we come up and shoot up to this cyan line right here that's crossing here that was once used as a very solid line of support. That would bring us, again, if we can get there, it would make perfect sense to me by the end of September, so over at least the next week, to come up, see an 11.3, 11.4 Bitcoin that would test this, again, test this line that was once support, use as a line of resistance, which you can see it did right here. Just in mid-September, not too long ago, and that would break us out of this downtrend. That would test this, and that would affirm to me that we are once again just reestablishing an uptrend and just continuing the uptrend. You guys know, if you've been following along, I do believe we're still in a bull market, but keep in mind, even if you're in a long-term bull market, there is going to be volatility on the daily. So the day-to-day, it really doesn't affect it truly doesn't affect me as much. I've been in this game for a long time. It's just part of the game. If you can't stomach this volatility, then this isn't the right game for you, unfortunately. But if you can, then welcome to the family. So that's Bitcoin. Again, you guys, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. Just to sum it up there, once again, we will need to see. My expectation is, I'll just say this, by the beginning of October, I think we'll break an $11,000 Bitcoin. If we break above this cyan line and get back into this upward channel that we've established since the March lows, that's super bullish to me. So that if we do that, then I don't see much of a ceiling until we retest this area up here, which would bring us to above $15,000. Okay, and I still think that's very possible. I think you guys remember that by the end of October, I called this like a month ago or something. By the end of October, I think we could see a 15K plus Bitcoin. I still think that's possible, all right? Although the election, there are a lot of factors at play here. Obviously, my opinion will change, but right now I'm very, very optimistic on Bitcoin and as well as the rest of the cryptocurrency sector. Let's move on to Ether, take a look at Link, and then we'll move on to Riot, Maro, and Overstock. Okay, so Ether, it did fall back into this channel that it was falling over the course of this rally. Ether really did, was kind of a, dark horse. Like, you see Ether just exploded from late July. It went from what, 230 ultimately to like 400, so 2x'd in the span of like a month, which is very impressive for Ether. Keep in mind, Ether is significantly below its all-time highs at around $1,400. Bitcoin's all-time high was 20,000. So Ether is still, in the grand scheme of previous all-time highs, significantly lower, or significantly more, I guess, undervalued, you could call it. I still think Bitcoin is significantly a far and away greater asset, especially right now. But Ether does still look like it has potential. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ether just kind of stay within this channel, unless we see another significant breakout, unless there is some hype, unless ETH 2.0 drops some banging news or something kind of out of the blue. It makes sense to me to follow this organic trend line that we followed since the March lows for a long time. This is a very solid trend line. This is a healthy uptrend. So it would make me happy to see Ether just stay in this, just bounce around in this, and gradually work its way up. So that's Ether. Not much excitement there in my eyes. ChainLink, I haven't drawn on this chart for a while, so sorry if this looks a little goofy. So ChainLink on the daily, oh my God, you can see like full on bubble. I said this many times, you guys. It was very obvious to me. I liquidated the majority of my ChainLink. I timed it very well. Also, I mentioned to you guys, ChainLink was the very first video I made months back, close to the beginning of this year, in regard to investing on this channel. So that's just a little inside joke. I say that all the time, but it's a terrible video. Go watch it if you want to make me, or watch me look like a fool. All right. So anyway, ChainLink. Again, I did play this. I exited around. No, it was around. I got out around $18. So it was pretty damn good. So I played this pretty well. Fortunately for me, it was very obviously a bubble. So again, you guys, have played a lot of bubbles in my day. This is a textbook bubble. You see the first wave, bubble pops. The first wave of the bubble pops a little bit. Capitulation corrects. Capitulation goes sideways. Second wave was mean, and then usually after the second wave, it slows down a little bit. So this was a crazy bubble, and now that ChainLink did actually break this downtrend. So ChainLink is now once again a very good buy in my eyes. So ChainLink is. Again, it has broken out of this downtrend that it started back in late August, beginning of September, and again, it did just break out of it. So it did close it daily above this downtrend technically, and it is now starting an uptrend. So I personally think ChainLink is, if you were thinking about buying, I think now Not financial advice. You guys know the deal. This thing could tank. Absolutely. It could go to zero. I don't know. But in my eyes, this looks like a good buy right now. So that's ChainLink. ChainLink looks solid. As far as upside targets, it would make sense to come back up to at least, I mean, at the very least, like the $12, $13 region, just because we spent a lot of time around there here. Just went sideways. So there's a lot of support and resistance around the $12 area. So I think we could bounce back to at least $12 in the short term. Moving on. So we'll take a look at Overstock, Riot, and Mara. Overstock. Not much going on here in terms of trends, but you can see here this line I've had drawn here. I've had this drawn for a long time. This was my initial high price target for Overstock when I covered it probably back in April, May, whenever it was. So again, it broke above that. It significantly broke above my absolute high price target, but this is where it's set. This is where Overstock, so you can see here, this is where Overstock actually set its high. Oh, no, not quite. But this is where Overstock, these two lines are where Overstock spent a lot of time in the highs of the 2017 Bitcoin bubble. So again, Overstock, although they are kind of like an Amazon discount furniture, e-commerce kind of thing, they also own tzero, which is a cryptocurrency exchange. So when Bitcoin goes up, that's why you can see when Bitcoin went up in 2017, Overstock, killed it. So Overstock, Overstock was probably the best performing single stock maybe of this year. It 50x'd. So Overstock went on to like 50x. I thankfully caught on to that wave very early. But again, I've been holding Overstock for a long time. So I didn't really, I did play it well because I exited a lot of my position pretty around this area right here. But again, like I've been holding it for a long time. So it's not much to brag about. But I will say I have been getting lucky with these bubble exits personally. So Overstock, just on a weekly, it looks like it wants to start another round up kind of. But I would look for it to flow unless Bitcoin pops off and we see it complete another wave in Overstock. Overstock's market cap is currently at just $3 billion. So keep in mind, guys, Overstock is still a very small company. Let's go back to the yearly. So keep in mind, guys, Overstock is still a small company. There's still a lot of room for growth here, especially because their recent earnings killed it. I think Overstock is a great long-term buy right now. Short-term, a little more. I've been expecting a move all the way down to this area it spent some time at over here around the $50 region. Nice psychological even as well, prior to absolutely going parabolic. So I still wouldn't be surprised to see that, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see it go to the upside. So sorry, that's kind of vague there, but Overstock is looking kind of weird right now. It's just been going sideways. So it would, if it goes down to 50, I'm picking up a shitload, to be completely honest. I'm accumulating a bag if we get down to 50. So honestly, hopefully that happens. But we'll just have to see. So moving on to the big dogs, Riot and Mara. Super exciting times for these two. These are both up pretty significantly in after hours. Riot up about 4% on the day. Mara up about 7%. They're both up a few percent. I think Mara's up almost like 5% after hours or something. So Mara doing very good today. Riot looking strong as well. So you can see here, this is just what I'm seeing in Riot. It's just a repetitive pattern. So you can see Riot, after that first initial break in June, you saw it create this descending wedge after those highs, all-time high rate, or not all-time high, but yearly high right here. Descending wedge, descending triangle, I'm sorry. So it's going down, downtrend, but a flat bottom, and then it broke to the upside to create that second wave we saw up to like the $5 region. You can see again right there starts its downtrend. This is a little less solid, so this is kind of just a downtrend, which worries me a little bit, but it still is creating that very repetitive pattern that we saw prior to that second move up. So I'm thinking that if we do see a breakup, and obviously Bitcoin will catalyze this, Riot being a Bitcoin miner, you need a strong Bitcoin to see a strong Riot. If Riot plays this out like it did the last one, which I think is pretty likely, we will see over the coming, by early October, Riot hopefully break out of this descending triangle and break to the upside. Okay, so descending triangle is not historically a very bullish pattern, but of course, again, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, so that makes me bullish on Riot. If Bitcoin starts to absolutely pop off, Riot will easily, I think, come up and test this very, very healthy trend line right here. So this is a very solid trend line in my eyes. Starting early May, you can see it test this multiple times, use this as a line of support multiple times over the past like half a year. So very strong trend line. I think it's very likely that if we see a breakout to a solid breakout to the upside, we could easily see a $5.5 to $6 Riot. So that's always know, guys, my money's on this. I'm I'm betting on a $5.5 to $6 Riot come by the end of October. And again, I do think that by the end of October, it is possible to see a 15K plus Bitcoin as well. So if all that plays out accordingly, great. If not, that sucks. But this is just what I'm thinking right now. And again, you guys know my money's on it. If it doesn't, then that's a risk I have assumed. That's a risk I'm willing to take on. All right, so that is Riot. Let's go on to look at Mara. So Mara has corrected significantly more than Riot, and it looks a little less strong. So the good thing about Mara, though, is that it's kind of like, you could call these kind of the first wave right here and then the second wave, but this looks to me like there's still room for a second wave in Mara. So you see the first wave, crazy bubble. Oh man, and you guys know this, I thought around this area, Mara was going to go sideways. I thought we were going to go up, halt out around the $3 area, go sideways, and then start the second wave. But Mara did a full-on, like, what is that, like 75-80% correction. So Mara went all the way from like $5.50 down to a low of 150. So that's a significant correction, you guys. But it did come down to the area where it went before it, but like initially started, like, right. That's a significant correction. So, I mean, I've been accumulating more Mara recently. I'm very bullish on Mara right now from definitely a long-term perspective. Short-term, it's still in a downtrend right here. So Mara will need to break above this area. If Mara breaks above $2, we'll reassume another uptrend. Short-term target, excuse me, if we break above this downtrend, and once again, Bitcoin does well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mara come up to the $3 region where we spend some time, like spend a few daily candles around that region. So it's just a pretty solid area of support and resistance. If we can break through that, I wouldn't be surprised to see another wave in Mara significantly higher than the first high. So, I mean, if this looks anything like ChainLink, which is possible, again, equities, and what I'm hoping is that Mara $50 million market cap, to be completely honest, you guys, if we all bought Mara, this thing could pump. I don't want that to happen because that's very dangerous and that could get me in a lot of trouble, so I don't want that to happen. But that's how freaking small the market cap is, okay? So if there's enough hype on Mara, if Mara like regains statement, we know people have seen Mara in the past. You can see this volume here. You see it. That price action means that there was a lot of volume here at one point. So if that can happen again, if Bitcoin does well, if people realize the power of Bitcoin miners in the future, where story stocks are cool, even if their financials aren't good, they're so young. Financials don't matter right now. It's about the future prospect of these stocks. And if Bitcoin's doing well, obviously both of these are going to be in a way better financial position. Say Bitcoin goes to 100K, these two are directly paid in Bitcoin, so they're going to make their value should go up. It's justified for their value to go up significantly if Bitcoin does as well. So, I mean, you guys, again, because I'm bullish on Bitcoin, I'm extremely bullish on these Bitcoin mining companies, including Hive as well. Hive is great. I'm not going to look at that now, but I mean, you guys super bullish on Riot, Mara, Hive as well, just any Bitcoin miner, because I'm bullish on Bitcoin. All right. So once again, you guys, if you guys do want to know exactly how I'm trading the cryptocurrency sector, some of these crypto stocks, complete portfolio daily newsletter, first link in the description. It's a good way to support me and get some value. I do my best to give you guys the most value that I can for your money. So I do my best to make it worth it for you, and I truly do. I do take pride in the work I put in that. So I really appreciate it if you check it out. Once again, if not, no worries. Please, you guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking right now. Let me know what you're excited about in the crypto space. If there's any no, I don't want to hear any sushi coin talk or anything like that, but what you guys are excited about fundamentally, what you guys think will happen from both a fundamental and technical perspective in Bitcoin's near, mid, long-term future, whatever. Literally talk about anything. Always love talking to you guys. Always love talking shop with you guys. Always love learning from you guys. All right. So until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace. Later.